Hey everybody, let's have a chat. I think I've already told you that one of my favorite hobbies is target shooting, and I'm planning on doing my big talk about proper gun etiquette and proper gun safety. But first, I think it's necessary to talk about the proper communication practices when we're on the shooting range, since communication on the shooting range can be so key to ensuring that everybody is safe and everybody's having a good time. So let's get started. So this is my gun club, Fall Creek Valley Conservation Club, and like most NRA-approved gun clubs, we have specific safety precautions. Among many other rules that I'll cover during our big talk, one unwritten rule is that we all have to communicate if we want to continue to make sure that everyone's safe and we're all having a good time together at the range. Because while being on a shooting range can be lots of fun, the unfortunate truth is that a failure to communicate can very well lead to serious injury or death. Now, I've got no doubt in my mind that you guys are all aware that these things can be kind of loud. So that's why when you're at a place like this, one of the first orders you're going to learn is ears on. Now, ears on is just a simple way of saying, hey, unless you're really curious as to what a 30-06 sounds like, I suggest you put some hearing protection on. Hearing protection being earplugs, or in my case, I prefer ear muffs with microphones built into them. Now, you're probably asking, why have microphones in your earmuffs? Doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose? Well, my earmuffs are designed to clip out sound from the microphone whenever there's a loud disturbance over a set amount of decibels. So a gunshot, a car door slamming, even if I snap my fingers, it clips out the sound. But I have the microphones in there so I can listen to the range safety officer. Now, when you're at the range safety officer pretty much is God. Everything that he says, you do. If he tells you to stop shooting, you stop shooting. If he tells you to get your earmuffs on, you get your earmuffs on. If he tells you to take the earmuffs off, you take them off. The range safety officer is there to give direction, much like a manager at any other location you'd go to. Whenever I bring a new person to the range that's never shot before, I always like to let them use my mic'd headphones. That's because it can be hard for somebody with earmuffs that are conventional without microphones or earplugs to hear the person who's trying to talk to them and trying to teach them how to use a weapon. This is a picture of my girlfriend and I at a shooting range a couple months ago. She had never shot before. She wanted to learn how to shoot. So I let her borrow my mic'd headphones because otherwise she wouldn't have been able to hear me as well. And she needs to be able to hear all the things I have to say about using a weapon like the AR-15, which can be sometimes daunting to a new person. Other than being able to hear the range safety officer as somebody who's trying to train you, you also need to be able to hear your fellow experienced shooters. This is a picture of my roommate Wilson and I trying to discuss what in the world's going on with a gun that had broken down. You can see I'm kind of hunched over working on it, and he's checking a magazine for me to make sure it wasn't broken down. Because sometimes guns do fail. You need to be able to communicate with other people to kind of troubleshoot what the issue is. However, one needs to also know how to communicate with fellow range members if an RSO isn't present for many other reasons. For example, when you first get to a range, you want to post new targets, or at some point during shooting, if you're poor like me and you can't afford a spotting scope, you want to go down range and you want to check targets and make sure that you're grouping well. So what you do is you raise your hand, you holler, and you get everybody's attention, and then you ask politely, hey, can we go down range? Can I check my targets? Do you guys want to post new targets? And then everybody agrees, and you guys go down range after you make your guns safe, and you post new targets and you return. Once everybody's back behind the firing line, somebody checks, make sure that everybody's back behind the line, and then they go hot again, which means you can start shooting, you can start throwing lead and having fun again. These are just a few of the ways that simple communication can improve the safety of recreational target shooting. In short, communication can warn us when things are going to get loud. The RSO's word is the word of God, and it's very beneficial and sometimes crucial to be able to properly communicate with other range patrons. That's all about range communication I'd like to discuss today, but later on in the semester I will be talking more about it during my big talk, and I'm really excited about that. I hope you all enjoyed this presentation, and I'm glad to have put it together for you. Thanks.